Welcome back, fans. It's been an incredible summer, and we're looking forward to a fresh new start and a fresh new era of Stores Nation, starting with a new host and two new analysts, Chinedu Amonu and Nyrell Moore. We even have a studio audience.
Yeah.
We'll be bringing in new segments, awesome topics, and some surprises for you down the road. We got the intros down. Now let's get to it. Starting with the association. It's been buzzing all summer long this past week. Definitely delivered one of the biggest acquisitions to date, starting with Carmelo Anthony traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder and Dwyane Wade to the Cleveland Cavaliers. With these deals in place, Nyrell, who do you think is the closest to competing with Golden State?
If the Cavs can develop chemistry with all the pieces they have right now, they definitely could give Golden State a run for the money deep in the playoffs. Fresh IT coming back mid-season could be exactly what they need at key point in time. And with the fresh legs and a player who can drop 30 a game, it's not a bad asset to have back.
Chen?
I'd have to give it to the Thunder. Acquiring PG and Melo was huge for them, especially after the season Westbrook had. Come on now. If these three gel and the egos get tossed to the side, they will be a very dangerous team. We're talking about a team that could push Golden State to 7 games in a playoff series. Their supporting cast is a little in question, but I like their chances more than the Cavs. The Cavs somewhat got better, but losing Kyrie was huge. IT is good, but he's no Kyrie. They're going to feel Kyrie's absence in the playoffs, I guarantee you. I like the addition of Wade, but who on that team is going to guard Steph, Clay, or KD?
So how is Kyrie and IT not the same person? I mean, they both don't play defense.
In my opinion, Kyrie is more clutch than IT, and IT is a liability.
IT
He's
was
5'9".
considered Mr. Fourth Quarter last year, though.
Yeah, but that was last year. The hip injury now, I don't know. I don't know what he can offer this
So you're
year.
saying a man who could drop 30 points a game is not as good as somebody who could drop 25 a game?
Listen, he's coming off a hip injury. So we're not sure if he'll be 100%. We're not sure what IT will
But
be.
IT says he can drop 30 by himself when he comes back. He says he's going to be the same person.
We'll see.
You don't believe him, man?
Hey, man. We'll see.
I like Kyrie more than IT. IT is a great player. Nothing wrong with him. He's a great player, but I got to give it to Kyrie. Like Kyrie was big for the Cavs, especially you can't forget that Game 7 when he hit that clutch 3.
So you really believe that that the Thunder are in a better position with what they have now than the Cavs are with what they have?
Yes. Westbrook averaged a triple-double last year.
Okay.
It was a 16 and he was by himself.
Yes.
Okay, but look
now
at the
he has
supporting cast. Look
PG
at the Cavs
and
supporting
Melo.
cast.
And Melo. And you have Roberson, lock-up defender.
You have D-Rose off the bench.
The Cavs do have two starting
D-Rose,
fives. They have
D-Rose
two
needs-
starting fives.
True, but D-Rose knees aren't questionable.
Yep.
Yeah, but they're two starting fives, and D-Rose averaged 18 points a game last year. How is his knees questionable if he can do it off the bench?
But who's guarding KD, Steph, or Clay? You haven't answered that question.
They're adding up, though. They match up. LeBron matches up with KD. You could
LeBron,
put somebody in front of Clay.
KD couldn't contain LeBron. I mean, no, LeBron couldn't contain KD.
He did it all game. It's just
When?
LeBron. There's so many people around him.
No, KD
LeBron
was unstoppable.
LeBron one-on-one with KD is unstoppable, literally.
All right,
You
so
could
that's-
put
all right, that's-
pieces that if you could put pieces around LeBron that can contain everybody else and put him on KD one-on-one, he's not gonna have the same series he did last year. It's not gonna happen.
Nobody's containing Steph on that team or Clay.
You can just stay in front of them. D-Wade can stay in front of Steph or Clay. Clay's barely a factor in the playoffs, and Draymond and Kevin Love cancel each other out.
Hey, man, you got
Clay,
a point.
Clay, no. I can't see it. I don't know. D-Wade is good. Like, D-Wade's going to give you consistent numbers, but in terms of defense, like, I can't see it. I don't see the Cavs being close to
I'd
the
rather have
Warriors.
D-Wade on defense than Kyrie on defense than any given day, though.
That is true. But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like the Thunder got closer to the Warriors than the Cavs. But I like both additions. Like it's gonna be a great season. I can't wait, to be honest.
So, Nyrell, who has more left on the table, D-Wade or Melo?
Only time could tell on this one. They're both out of their primes, but both can deliver a solid 18, 20 points a game. D-Wade's a few years older, but Melo, he doesn't have the athletic ability like Wade does. And, I mean, he's a key contributor for a championship team, but Wade has that championship mentality and that championship veteran presence. Melo's also, he's a well-developed scorer, and he can light up anybody any given day for 40. I mean, it should be interesting to see.
How you feel, Chen?
Honestly, I'm gonna have to agree with Nyrell. It's gonna be very hard to tell. They both had very productive off seasons, so it should be interesting to see. But I feel like Wade has more to offer, though. In my opinion, the Thunder didn't necessarily need Melo, but the Cavs desperately needed a shooting guard that could consistently give them something every night. So JR is very inconsistent, and Shump's offensive game is questionable. So I'd have to give it to Wade if I had to choose somebody. But it should be interesting to see.
I do believe that the Cavs did need that key piece at shooting guard. They definitely were missing that asset of their team. I think D-Wade gives them that veteran presence that they needed.
Okay. With all of these top players on the same team, who do you think is the front runner for MVP, Nyrell?
Can't really point out a front runner right now. Obviously, LeBron, he could always be considered MVP every year.
LeBron, here we go.
But with these superstars playing with other stars all over the league, it makes for interesting matchups in game. Right now, I say he's up for grabs, but like I said, Russ, he's always going to be the clear favorite.
Wow, back to back. Wow.
Yeah, back to back. Man can do it. I think he can.
We'll see. How you feel about it, Chen?
I have 2 words. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He asked Kobe for a challenge this summer, and Kobe said to win MVP, so I have to give it to him. I believe that he'll rise to the occasion and deliver. All Giannis lacked last year was a consistent jump shot. So once he fixes that part of his game, I know he'll be an opposing team's nightmare. So look for him to have a big year.
I do like Giannis. I like the Giannis pick a lot. Giannis is definitely a key factor. I mean, he definitely needs the pieces around him that can bring him to that next level. It's just what he needs around him. Giannis is just one of the most dominant players that I think we will ever see in our lifetimes, just because of how young he is and what he's doing right now. But Giannis, he's a sleeper for MVP. I wouldn't say sleeper, but he's definitely top 3.
So let me ask you a question, both of you. If Giannis is going to raise his level to an MVP, where do you see the Bucks? If he's an MVP player, then they should be one of the top teams in the league.
True, but Jabari Parker just has to stay healthy because Giannis is very elite, but he can't do it on his own. And honestly, I've been following Jabari Parker since his Duke days. So I know that when it's time to get a bucket, he'll provide with the bucket. So with him, Thon Maker needs to rise up too. Thon Maker was one of the best talents out of high school, so he needs to rise up too. So like Nyrell said, those pieces around him need to help him bring the Bucks to that elite level. But honestly, if they all come together, I could see them being a 4 seed in the East.
He can definitely raise his game to an elite level with his team's production. He had Malcolm Brogdon from Rookie of the Year last year, come off a great season. Thon Maker is going to develop into something. Jabari Parker, it's just inconsistency, but they still have the 2 at Chris Middleton. They're a pretty good team, young, so we see where they're going from there.
We're off to a great start, so we'll get into some NFL headlines after this short break.
You gonna be what you be. Hey, say what you wanna do with your life. Say you gonna be what you be. Hey, say what you wanna do with your life. Say.
Welcome back. We have just finished week 4 and a quarter of the NFL season with plenty of surprises so far. With all the action that's happened, I want to know, what are your biggest surprises and your biggest disappointments of the season so far?
My biggest surprise this year is definitely Kareem Hunt. He's totaling about 700 yards right now, and he's just tearing the league up. He came out of nowhere, and he's looking like a clear-cut Rookie of the Year. He might even be MVP as the year comes on. His dominance just needs to get kept up. It's early, though, but he's looking really good right now. My biggest upset is Odell and his boys. They're 0-4 right now. They're looking like they're drowning, and they seem out of sync. They need to figure something out before it's too late.
Yeah. Chen, how do you feel about that?
What's most surprising to me is that the fact that the Buffalo Bills, are 3-1 and leading their division. That's right, the division that the New England Patriots are in. Not only that, but the Rams are also 3-1 and they're leading their division. Todd Gurley has to be put in the MVP talks after his performance yesterday. I've watched Gurley since his days at UGA. If he keeps playing this way, it will be hard not to give him MVP. Their neighborhood team, the Chargers, are by far the biggest disappointment in the NFL today. Not only did the Eagles, whom they played yesterday, say it felt like a home game, but they're making the great city of Los Angeles look bad with their 0-4 start. If there's room on the Rams bandwagon, I advise you to hop on.
Speaking of hopping, we're going to hop on to this break, and we'll be back shortly. Thank you for staying with us and rewarding you with the throwback segment, #Wars. Who else to start with other than Odell Beckham? He returns, scores 2 touchdowns, and pisses in the end zone. What is your thoughts on Odell's latest antics? Nyrell?
My hashtag is straight baller. Odell, he's being Odell. He's doing his thing. He's having fun on the field, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, his team is losing, but he's still a beast. No one can stop the man one-on-one, and he has 2 touchdowns.
Pissed in the end zone.
He's pissing in the end zone, but he's doing this thing and having fun. I don't see anything wrong with it.
How you feel about it?
I'm going to have to go with attention seeker. His team is 0-4, but it seems to me like he's more focused on what's going to get him more views on social media. He needs to rally the troops and make sure they don't finish behind the 2-2 Jets, because that would be tragic for New York. Sports should be only fun when you're winning.
Exactly. Now, next topic. Floyd Mayweather has an interesting new poster on his wall. Yup, that's right. An 8 feet tall painting of, who else? Conor McGregor. How do you feel about it?
My hashtag is Big Baller Brand. I think it's funny. He cashed out and spent his money on whatever he wants. If I had the money like that, I'd do it too.
How you feel, Chin?
I'm going with Superstar. I love it. He gave us a great fight, so I see no problem with this poster.
First show of the year in the books. Thank you for tuning in. And give a hand to the brand new cast on their first show. It's only up from here. Thank you. See you next week, fam.